That, well, let's look at the situation with us in our country here, given our situation. How prepared would you say that we are? And by preparedness, I really mean, you know, how well equipped are they? I understand that they have not been approved to bear arms like that. And when you think of the arms that these criminals, that they are going to, you know, have to, you know, ferret out and all of that, they have much superior arms. Does that give you any cause for concern?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you for having me to at least share my perspective with regards to the forest guards and their operations.
Yes.
Let me start by saying that, given a Chinese proverb, that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Another best time is now. Now, let me use this opportunity to commend Mr. President.
Okay.
Because I think that Mr. President is one president that understands these current insecurity challenges and has decided to put some measures, some steps, and some framework in place to see how to address the issues. Mr. President, for me, is one president that understands and knows that crime is local. And for us to tackle this insecurity and crime in Nigeria at the moment is to see how to go local. And Mr. President as well is one president that I saw that the content of his manifesto I'm seeing that he's actually playing them out. Contained in Mr. President's manifesto is that he's going to establish forest guards to see how to help address the issue. And for him to approve the establishment of forest guards, I think is a welcome development and is a way to go in order to see how to address these issues locally. Now, I have told you on your show here that there's need for us to change our strategy, to see how to change our tactics. We should stop the top-to-bottom approach and try to see how to address these issues, insecurity issues from bottom to top. And that is the right way to go because since crime is local, we must see how to go local to address these issues. Now, Mr. President has given approval, you know, and I've seen the deliberate and intentional efforts of the National Security Advisor in seeing how to strategically carry out the directive issued by Mr. President. And if you are following trend of events, you agree with me that since Mr. President gave the approval, we have seen a number of personnel of the Nigerian Forest Guards taken to Ila, a community in Oshogbo, where they are undergoing special security training, you know. And we are seeing the result, whether we like it or not. So it is important for us to see how to key into what Mr. President has brought on board by approving the establishment of forest guards and under the supervision of the National Security Advisor, right? And Mr. President issued the directive that state governors should as well key in to see how to bring, recruit their own local citizens or indigents from their state to also come on board the recruitment list, you know, to see how to help address these issues of insecurity. Of course, you agree with me that there's a lot of value these criminals attach to our forests. It is in these forests that they hide or keep their victims or hostages of kidnappings. It is in the forest that they sit and plan before they come out to execute these heinous activities on our people. It is in this forest that they go back to, regroup, and come out and still carry out these attacks on our people. So they attach so much value to our forest. And that is why, when I saw that approval from Mr. President, I appreciated the effort because I am an advocate of local policing. And if you listen to the new Minister of Defense, he said with the conventional security agents or personnel, we cannot find them in all our communities. That is very impossible. So how do we now close this gap where communities where we don't find our conventional security agents, that these forest guards can close the gap? Now, there's one personality that I'm a researcher. That's what I do for a living. There's this personality, a Nigerian, that I have read his article, one or two or three of them. And I took my time to digest what he wrote. And he identified the non-availability of forest guard service as a missing link. His name is Dr. John Mechie, Ambassador John Mechie. That's his name. He has identified that the missing link in helping to address these issues is the non-availability of forest guards in our community. And that if we bring on board forest guards, just the way Mr. President has approved, and they are doing very well under the supervision of the Nigerian National Security Advisor, that it will go a long way in helping to address these issues. And I quite agree with him, right? Because my professional philosophy is that we must take care of our own local issues. We must not rely on foreign policies or advisors to help us come to address these issues that is confronting us today, right? So the best way to go in addressing these issues locally is the way Mr. President has gone, by approving the Nigerian Forest Security Guards under the supervision of the National Security Advisor. And if you see what the forest guards by Mr. President, and I think forest guards by Mr. President, and I think that is the way to go, if you ask me, because we are seeing the efforts of the conventional security agents and personnel that we have. You know, we have 774 local governments. I don't know the number of communities that we have in this country, right? So for us to have the presence of security, conventional security agents or personnel in our various communities is a difficult task. It's a difficult task. So the idea of coming on board forest guards, it's a welcome development. And I want to believe that it is one of the ways to go in addressing these issues when it has to do with addressing security locally. Local way of addressing, because when these criminals come, they have their day, field day, they confront our people, our harmless and innocent and defenseless people, kill them in the number that they want to kill, and they go scot-free. So the process of recruitment or enlistment of forest guards into the organization is the best way to go, because these people will come from their immediate local communities where they will come on board. They are used to their terrain, used to their environment, and don't forget that these forests are also situated or found within our local communities, right? So when these criminals come, the criminals will be, of course, they will be alien to these communities. They are not familiar with the communities, and when these members of these communities, forest guards, see them, they will be able to identify that these are not members of our communities, right? And in any way they carry out acts of criminality, and they want to see how to escape. I believe that forest guards, since they come from within these very communities, since they are more familiar to the communities that these criminals that come to carry out these acts of criminality on our people, they'll be able to see how to double-cross them, to arrest them, right? And a lot will not happen when it has to do with our forests. Of course, you know that there's illegal logging in our forest. Yeah. There are a lot of hostages kept in our forest and all that. So these forest guards, they have a lot of tasks. Don't forget that they are going to be first responders. And that is why I want to call on Mr. President and the National Security Advisor to see how to hasten or quicken the constitutional amendment where it will afford them to bear arms, right? Because you don't expect them to confront these criminals when they come with bare hands, So the only way and the best way we can achieve result is the trainings that they are undergoing currently in Osogbo. And the next thing is for them to see how to equip them sophisticated arms, right? Because they are the ones that will confront these criminals, when they come, right? In the event when they come and they don't bear arms, you don't expect them to confront these people. Of course, they first of all have their own life to live. Okay. They will see how to take to their heels, and all that. So we must see how to equip them, because that is the missing link.
Okay, exactly, the missing link in coverage of security coverage. So I was going to ask that, will the forest guards actually be required? Isn't intelligence their most important purpose? Intelligence, because one, they know the place, they know the pathways, they know the routes. Some of them might have grown up in the area. So intelligence gathering, once they have this intelligence, isn't that the most important function that they have? The training of the military, the police, and those kind of people, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? intelligence is theirs, because the police can't go in there, the army can't go in there. Not that they're afraid of anything, but if they do go in there, how do they know what is amiss? But people who grew up in the community, people who really know that place, they would have fantastic intelligence that they could then pass on. I was wondering if something like that, if that is the way in which it works, if intelligence, most importantly, is what they're going to provide other arms of security with, thereby plugging the gaps in security in remote and rural areas that you've just spoken about.
Yes. You see, Uncle Yori, in any security operations, intelligence is key. And the conventional security agencies that we have, they also have intelligence units or departments. So it's applicable to when it has to do with the Nigerian Forest Guards as well. They must have intelligence unit or department, because intelligence is good understanding. Intelligence is, first of all, an information that have gone through a process, evaluated and analyzed, and now established to be an intelligence. And under intelligence, you have actionable and non-actionable intelligence. And when it has to do with actionable intelligence, what that means is that we need swift response with regards to actionable intelligence. And what the National Security Advisor is doing also is that he's also training these newly recruited forest guards. You know, they are going through a process of special forces training and all that. And also intelligence gathering and intelligence application training is also key in all of this we are saying. So they must be trained in the area of intelligence gathering and also intelligence application of intelligence, right? Because you are bringing them from a background that they don't have this knowledge, and it's important for us to see that they are trained, right, in this regard. Because without intelligence, you cannot get the desired result. It's like operating in the dark, right? So intelligence gathering or intelligence-led operation is very key with what we're saying. In the event where you suspect some criminal elements within the forest, operating within the forest, you must first of all go out there to see how to carry out an investigation. In the process of carrying out this investigation, at that point you unravel or reveal that what is actually happening in the forest is an illegal activity, you know, and at that point you have already established that it's an illegal activity, and therefore intelligence is generated. In the event where you're unable to confront these criminal elements, you will now see how to call for backup, right, from our conventional security agents. Because we have seen situations where these criminals come, attack Nigerians in their various communities, and the response time is not as quick as possible. It is when these dastardly acts are carried out, then that is when you come and see our conventional police, soldiers and all that arriving the crime scene after 2 or 3 hours. But in the event where we have forest security guards and they are on ground, you don't expect that long time period for our security agents to act. Because they will be on ground, properly equipped, they have the required tools and necessary tools to see how to work with. And at that point, we will see that these issues are nipped in the bud. I bet you that the way the National Security Advisor is going, if he goes that route, we will see drastic reduction in criminality or acts of crime in this country.
Mr. Ayodele in the UK, thank you for holding on. Good morning. Go ahead now, please.
The other doctor is still talking. I want him to finish. It's like you need to stop him.
I put you on. Don't worry about that. It's an echo. He has stopped speaking. I'm sorry, we'll sort that out. Maybe is your television set on? Because you can't listen via your television set. So if it is, could you please mute it for us? Just bring the volume down to 0.
Yes.
Thank you. Now? Thank you, sir. Go ahead now, Mr. Ayodele.
Yes, my take home for this is it's just to let you know the problem we're having. The problem we're having is not this foreign guard is okay, but to let you know there's a problem. In initial stage of problem is, can we not find out who are behind all this sponsorship of this Boko Haram and Co? That is, we have to, when tree fell on a tree, according to our adage, we take the bottom of it, we don't take the head. Or we take the head, because if we continue initiating all this guy without knowing the causes the main root of where all these people are coming from. We are still, because these people are still going to be compromising our security system in Nigeria. We can own a security company in Nigeria. We cannot continue like this system where the diaspora will not be able to come home. The issues have to be the president. I'm thinking of meeting Mr. President one day to tell him, can you not take the people by the horn? Let us fish out those big cabbages behind these issues. That's one thing we need. People are the ones sponsoring this one. Even though you are taking all those things, everything you sponsor this time around, it will just a minor minimization of what is going on. The problem we are having, the cabal that says they are the one, the God, the Lord of Nigeria, have to be fished out.
Okay.
We have to fish them out.
Sorry, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayodele, calling out of the UK. I hear what you're saying, and that's another aspect of security that you're talking about. It's important, and I think they are trying to handle that. But this is for those criminals within our forests. As Dr. Kure was telling us, it could be logging, illegal logging. It could be just carrying on all sorts of illegality in the thick, deep forests. Now, people who are not criminals but are also knowledgeable can go to those areas, unlike before when they were so deeply in that nobody sort of knew about them. Now, with forest guards, they can go as deep as any criminal wants to go. And very, very importantly, I think Dr. Kure has been trying to explain, pass this information on if they can't confront them head on. And go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
I want to respond to
okay.
The last caller from
Mr. Ayodele
from UK.
Mr. Ayodele in the UK. Okay, yes. Mr. Ayodele, let Dr. Kure let him respond to you. Thank you very much for calling in.
Now, why?
Go ahead, sir.
One of the reasons why we're unable to know who the sponsors of these criminal gangs are in Nigeria is because arrests are not made. You know, because when they come to these communities or where they come to carry out these acts of criminality, nobody confronts them. There's no security agents or personnel that confronts them. You know, so when they come, they kill and do whatever they want to do, and they go scot-free, right? And the reason is because of the gap between when our conventional security agents come and when these guys carry out these acts of criminality and they go. Sometimes it's 2, 3, 4 hours before they respond, you know, when the damage is done. Now, with the coming on board of forest guards, they will be on ground, right? When these criminals come, if they don't arrest, at least they will neutralize, right? In the event where they arrest and if investigation is carried out, you know, they are interrogated and all that, they will reveal the names of these people that are sending them. What's their motive? They will say. But in the event when arrest is not carried out, and perhaps they are neutralized, if we see them physically, their features, it will tell us if they are indigenes of this community, or they are Nigerians, or they are foreigners from Mali or Niger, as the case may be, right? But in the event where arrests are not done, you don't expect us to know who their sponsors are. Right?
Yes.
So the way to go is the way Mr. President has gone, under the supervision of the National Forest Security Advisor. Mm-hmm. In the event where these criminals come, we already have our local security agents or personnel on ground that have gone through process of training, special forces training, intelligence gathering, intelligence application training, and all that.
Okay.
In the event where these criminals come, they confront them. And when they confront them with their own arms, perhaps more sophisticated than the ones that the criminals are carrying, they will be able to challenge them. Right.
Okay.
So let us see how to go ahead in addressing our issues locally. And the best way to go, for me, it is the way the Mr. President has approved of the forest guards coming on board. And after all this, I want a step further to see how to, you know, inculcate them or involve them into the national security architecture, right? So that in the event where they have some intelligence, they can also share with us conventional security agents, right? There will be synergy, there will be collaboration and all that. And
but they will be separate.
Let us start something.
They will be separate.
We're already aware of the issues. The challenges are there. We're already aware of them. Now, the solutions is what we should be after. And one of the solutions is what we are seeing now. Forest guards, train them, arm them to confront criminals in the forest. Because that is majorly where these issues are happening when, when it has to do with criminals and their activities.
Okay. Our other guest, Mr. Basi Ekemini, National Coordinator Initiative for Concerned Citizens for Peace and Development, has also joined us in the studio. Good morning to you, Mr. Ekemini.
Good morning to you, sir. Though you didn't tell me your name.
My name is Yori Folari.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. My name is Yori Folari.
Mr. Yori.
Yori will do. Yori Folari.
Good morning and thank you. Okay, Yori Falani. Good morning. Okay, Yori Falani. Good morning, Mr. Yori Falani. And thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. Thank you very much for coming on. So, Basi, tell us about what you have also glimpsed as to how important this is. We've heard about the gaps that they can plug. The forest guards can oftentimes plug gaps, especially when you come to security architecture in remote and rural areas, and report back. Although Dr. Kwori was just explaining that if need be, they can even arrest. Well, when properly trained, I imagine that would be the case. But tell us your perspective on this aspect of the specialist role that they have to interface and plug gaps in distant remote areas.
Okay, thank you. My contribution is there, but first of all, let me, on behalf of the 50 million excellent Nigerian youths, let me appreciate Mr. President, first and foremost, for coming to our aids at this time that is mostly needed by appointing General Musa Christopher as a substantive Minister of Defense, coupled with his counterpart, Mr. Bello Matawale. I would call that a square peg in a square hole. Why? Because these are experienced hands who are capable of taking care and taking charge of the security architecture of in our nations. And then the initiative of a forest guard introduced by Mr. President to be managed by the NSA. I think that's an excellent one at this time, because some of the military personnel we are having here, some of them are posted to an area that they are just been there for the very first time, which they might not know the loopholes of where these criminals or bandits are operating from. So by the help of the forest guards, which might come from, which is the citizens of the communities, which they will know all the loopholes in the community, in case any of these criminals coming or any criminality activities rises again, they will know the exact points where they can tackle or the exact points where they will wait for them to apprehend them.
Dr. Kwori, what is the difference between forest guards and, first of all, it's not unique to us. There are forest guards, as a concept in other countries of the world. Is that correct? It's not that we are coming up with this expression. Yes, that concept exists because every country has its own forests.
Exactly. Every country has its own forest.
Yes.
And yes, and their security challenges are peculiar to their to the country or to the community, right? So, and that was the reason
why
sir, they also established their own forest guards.
Before you proceed, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry, Dr. Kwori. Sorry, very, very sorry. I wanted to ask you. I think many people will be familiar with terminology such as forest rangers in other climes. Is there a difference between that and forest guards that we are talking about one in this country, and also it exists in other countries as well?
I think that has to do with nomenclature. It depends on how they want to name their own personnel when it has to do with activities addressing insecurity issues with regards to our forests. What we here in Nigeria, we have decided to name our own Nigerian Forest Security Guards, right? Approved by Mr. President under the supervision of the NSA, right? And that is what we know ours with, right? And that is how we want to operate or function. We don't have issues, or we don't have any need looking at the way others are named in their own country. We have our issues that are peculiar to us, that is confronting us today: banditry activities, kidnapping activities, terrorism activities, all these happening in our country. How best do we address this? And that is why I want to still say that the best way to go is the way Mr. President has gone.
Indeed.
As an advocate of local policing, if you recall in 2021, when the current chief of staff to the president was the Speaker of the Nigerian House of Representatives, he established a National Security Summit Committee to help look at the issues confronting Nigeria as when late President Muhammadu Buhari was president. And different subjects were published that for security consultants or people that have passion for security to write on those subjects. I went for a local way of how to address security issues, right? And I appreciated the fact that my recommendation, out of 7 recommendations I made in to that committee, 4 of my recommendations were picked, and it was added in the report that was submitted to Mr. Muhammadu Buhari then in 2021. So we are coming from an informed background, from an informed environment, because we have carried out research and discovered that where we lack insecurity presence, where we lack security presence, it has to do with our rural and semi-rural communities. We don't have the presence of our conventional security agents there, whether we like it or not. Recall some couple of months ago when there was an attack in Plateau. What was the reason that the military gave? Because they were unable to access the community where these attacks happened. They said proximity, right? And how do we now address that? We shouldn't be giving excuses when we're unable to meet up our responsibility or tasks as security agencies, right? So in order to see how to help address this gap, the best way, which Mr. President has discovered, is to come up with the local structure, which is the Nigerian Forest Guards, right? And take it or leave it. The fact is, if we go in supporting what the NSA is doing, because what we are talking about insecurity here, we are talking about the citizens of the country, because we are all stakeholders when it has to do with addressing insecurity issues in the country. We all have roles to play. In the event where I see something as a citizen of this country and I report to the police, and the police don't get to the scene on time, what now happens? The disaster is done, right? But when I report to these forest guards that I see that are very close to me and all that, of course, you expect a swift response to the something that I have seen and I've reported to the forest guards, right? So for me, what the security agencies need to do is to go back to the drawing board. Where are we missing? Where have we recorded successes? In the area where we are missing X, Y, Z, let us see how to close the gap. And for me, closing the gap is the coming on board of the Nigerian Forest Guard that the Mr. President has approved of.
Okay, Mr. Ekemini, must be these forest guards. They, apart from being well structured, they must be properly resourced as well. Where there are competing needs for limited resources, let it be said, how much of a challenge do you think that is going to be? Because I know that very rarely do you get all that you want when it has been recommended. I want you to think about that. I've got to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll take your response to that particular aspect. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Every major news story is with many perspectives. And layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back. And our guests, as you probably know if you've been together, Dr. Stephen Okwori and Mr. Basi Ekemeninu. But before I come to you, a call came in, so let me just take that call, not keep Mr. George waiting. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Jerry.
Thank you for calling.
And good morning to the two guests.
Yes.
Uncle Jerry, the idea of forest gas, we have talked about it before. It's a good one. My concern is similar to the one that the gentleman that called from England said.
Yes, no arrests was his main point.
Yes, they have to first be eased out, and for you to effectively ease them out, those who are sponsoring them need to be eased out as well. Now, the forest guard, before they can effectively take over the forest, don't forget, Uncle Yori, that these criminals are highly armed.
Yes.
So, yeah, the weapons they have, how the military has to first of all help to dislodge them and dispossess them of those heavy equipment that they are using in the forest before the forest guards can effectively take over. Otherwise, the forest guard will not have the type of arms they can use to dislodge them. So something major has to first be done before the forest guards can effectively take over the forest. And I also foresee another challenge. If they are eased out of the forest, they will, and you did not get rid of them, they will fuse back into the society, and the society will become more endangered again, because a criminal is a criminal. They don't stop committing crime. They come into the society in the midst of people again and be committing different levels of crime, so that they may not go into the forest again, because the forest will have been guarded by security personnel.
Yes,
so,
one hopes so.
The best thing is to get rid of them first, as many as possible, as many of them as that is possible to get rid of before taking over the forest. It's a major project, and I think it is worth doing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. George. I think okay, coming back to you, Mr. Ekemimi, Mr. George there is saying that perhaps the order is get rid of as many of these criminals as you possibly can before then, bringing the forest guards on board. Do you agree with that, or are there other methodologies?
Yes, thank you very much, sir. I can hear you. I can tell you for free, sir, that the issues of banditry and terrorism in Nigeria, I can tell you without mentioning words, that these are politicizing. They are politicizing the issues of banditry in Nigeria here. So for a situation whereby a state governor or a notable person, a notable Nigeria, will be the one to sponsor banditry or sponsor Boko Harams in the country, at the end of the day, maybe he's having issues, or he's having a political interest with the person that is on the seat, and then he will be moving around to sponsor these people to attack a personality of. I will take the Minister of State for Defense as an example. What happened recently in Sokoto State and what happened in Kebbi State. I think by so doing, you cannot come from anywhere and start bringing down the hard-earned image of the Honorable Minister of Defense in the name of you are fighting banditry or in the name of you are fighting terrorism. Look at what happened in Sokoto, where a notorious bandit called Halilu Sabubu was terrorizing the entire Northwest. But when Mr. President assigned Dr. Bello Matawale to go to the state or to the Northwest, and when he went there, we could see the drastic decision he took by bringing down the team of Halilu and all his teammates. And back to the one in Sokoto, Kebbi State, rather, where 22 young school children was adopted.
I didn't understand that. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I didn't understand the point you just made. You're talking about Mr. Matawale, and were you saying he was working against our interests? That's why I said I didn't quite understand it. Could you clarify that area?
Yes. The people of Zamfara State are working. The people of Zamfara State are working against the interests of the Honorable Minister. They are even trying to bring down his own image. The good work he's doing ever since he resumed as the Honorable Minister of Defense, we are seeing it. So that's why I commended Mr. President for appointing General Christopher Musa to mount the affairs of a substantive ministers of defense, coupled with Bello Matawale, which is an experienced hand. I will tell Nigerians for free that with these two people now, the security architecture of this country are in safe hands. So for that reason, I will advise these blackmails and these people who are coming with critics and chief blackmails to allow this man to concentrate in the good work which Mr. President assigned him to do. So a reason why a sitting governor will be sponsoring banditry to spoil the hard image of Mr. Bello Matawale.
I wouldn't go there in the absence of evidence, because that's a heavyweight and heavy duty claim that you just made.
Sir, I'm trying to tell you this because I know it vividly well that this is where these problems are arising from. This is where the problems are coming from. The problem of banditry and the insecurity in Nigeria, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear what you are saying, but are you saying that sitting governor, you're saying a sitting governor is actually working against the best intentions, security intentions of the country? That's what you're saying.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. That is my point that I'm making, sir. That is my point. And I can tell you that without mincing words, sir. This is the problem we are facing in this country. This is the problem that is increasing the banditry and terrorism in the country.
Of course, there's the little matter of proof. There's the little matter of proof for what you say. There's the little matter of proof for what you are saying, because it's a very, very big claim. But let me bring on Mazi. Let me bring on Mazi Okorafor. Mazi Okorafor, good morning, sir. Go ahead quickly, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning again. Sir, you see, this issue of forest guard is long overdue. We don't need to constitution or a law before we. Now ask yourself, had it been the forest guard have been existing since every time we talk to the forest government that these terrorists would survive in the forest? They cannot. Because we make statements, we abandon it, we make policy, we abandon it, no implementation. How can we say that? Now look at what is happening in neighboring states. Now tell me, if the forest guard we have hunters, we have young men and women that are ready to do the job. All these Akwobi boys, they are ready to do the job, but they are not given the opportunity. Ask us, what is local government chairman, what is the governor doing? Collect vote, security vote for their own in the pocket. If the governors have started doing the job by giving the chairman of local government the opportunities, give them their funds. Say to my friend, you must employ at least 1,000 in your local government. I bet you, those terrorists in the bush cannot survive. Because look at the lot of food we have in this country, because people don't have the time for them to go to the bush, to their farm and have anything that is certain hunger. Whether we have excess in the bush because of this terrorists, must we look? Drugs can even solve that problem. The forest guard, they are ready to do the job. Allow them to do the job.
All right.
Even National Assembly members, can they bring their own money, that's of stipend?
Okay. All right.
us so that we use it to do what? To take care of our forest. The area we do, the better. Let us stop this issue of every day talk, nothing to implement. Good morning, Mazu come from our have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafo. Dr. Stephen Okwori, I wanted you to also chip in on the claim of Mr. Basi Ekemini that, look, he knows what he's talking about, and there are some bona fide, legitimate, high government officials, I think he even specified a governor, that are working against the interests of the country. What would be your take on such a claim?
Okay, before I respond to this question, let me just say one or two things with regard to Mr. George, when Mr. George called.
Okay.
Mr. George said that the military should first of all go into the forest, take charge and all that, dislodge these bandits and other criminal elements in the forest based on the kind of arms and ammunition that they have before we now allow forest guards to come in. Now, we are talking about the issue of synergy here. The military, when they get into the forest, they are not familiar with the forest. We are talking about these local people that these forests are found in their communities. So, for me, the right thing to do is collaboration, synergy. A case study is the way and manner the civilian JTF worked with the military in the Northeast in the fight against terrorism. You can see the effort that they made. So we need collaboration there, not the military going ahead to dislodge before the forest guard comes. So when these forest guards go through this process of training that they are embarking on, special forces training and all that, there's need for synergy, collaboration with our military to go into the forest to see how to dislodge these criminals in our forest. Then Mazi Okorafo, he spoke glowingly well, very well. You see, when we have this policy and all that on ground, implementation is a problem, and sustainability is another one. But here we are. We have seen the policy, and the policy, we have started seeing the implementation, right, with what the NSA is doing. And when they are armed and all that, we now begin to talk about sustainability. Sustainability, therefore, is to see that they are provided the right tools, equipment, arms, and ammunition, and all that they need, modern, sophisticated technology, gadgets that they need to work with, right? Because the tax is before them, because they are going to go into a thick forest to be able to identify these criminals in the forest. Then, with regards to my brother here, you see, there's this saying, long before now, that crime and criminality are sponsored by some political elites. Now, if you recall some time ago, the former chief of staff to former late President Muhammadu Buhari, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, he said in one function that the insecurity that we experience in Nigeria are elites orchestrated insecurity. What that means is that we have some political gladiators, some political stakeholders that are also engaging these criminal elements to carry out acts of criminality on our people, right? Just to score some cheap, political.
I understand.
Yes, cheap political credit, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But
so now,
does it go as high up? Does it go as high up as state governors?
Now, every state governor, before they assume office, they carry out campaigns. In their campaign, they tell their people that they are coming on board to take care of 1 or 2, 3 issues, challenges befalling their state. One of the issues that they tell the citizens when they go on campaign is that they are going to provide security. Because you agree with me that insecurity has ravaged our country, and we are seeing the effort that Mr. President is making and all that. So, and these governors swore an oath. You know, they're also being confronted with that section of the Constitution, Section 14(2)(b), which is the primary responsibility of government, which is security and welfare. You know, so that section is not the responsibility of Mr. President or the federal government alone. The governors and state government also have roles to play with regards to that Constitution. So when a governor is seated and is alleged that he's also aiding or supporting acts of criminality, I think that governor has failed in his responsibility, right? Because the governor is supposed to protect the citizens of the indigents of his state, you know, and use the security vote judiciously for the purpose the vote is meant for, you know. And that's why I said that governor should go and borrow a leaf from the governor of Enugu State and see what he is doing with regards to the fight against insecurity. So it is a failure of leadership when we hear stories like this, that governors of state are actually involved in acts of criminality. Rather than doing the other way, they are seen to be doing acts of, but you see, that is politics.
Let me give it back to Bassi, who started this particular branch of the conversation. Bassi, please proceed, because I just want that when statements like that are made, you just have to be ready. Should it be required, with the proof, because you know how it sounds. You know how it sounds that what the very person who is charged with applying the law for the security of the people in his domain, you in your wisdom have seen that some of them are not faithful to the oath that they have sworn. Go ahead.
You're right, sir. But before I came here to say this, I have a proof, sir. But because of time, I didn't come with the proof to show it here. But there's a proof that can actually affirm to this point I'm making, sir.
Okay.
There's what Mr. President did to all the state governors by giving them a security votes. So I was thinking that money is particularly for providing security in each of the states. So what happened in a situation let me go back to Zamfara State, because that's where my problem is. There's a notorious bandit that was terrorizing the whole northwest that was killed by the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, and this said bandit came from Zamfara State. So when he was killed with his team, instead of the people of the state to appreciate the Honorable Minister for a job well done, but I can also tell you that the people of that region now have been able to sleep with their two eyes closed. So after that measures has been taken, instead of the people of the state to appreciate the Honorable Minister for a job well done, securing the people he was meant to do, then the people from the state now came up with critics and blackmails against the personality of the Honorable Minister. And then the government of the day are not saying anything. Likewise, the state governor, they are not saying anything. Most of the critics and blackmails are coming from the state. So what does it mean? Was it a crime for him to kill a bandit that was terrorizing, a terrorist that was terrorizing the whole state? Was it a crime for him to do that? So why is these critics and blackmails coming particularly from that state, and the state government is not doing anything? And so I would also tell you without minding with that, what is going on now between the synergy between the Zamfara state government and the Minister of State for Defense, which is also their own son, is not flowing very well. That is why you are seeing insecurity still dancing around in that particular area. There is no connections. There is no cordial relationship between the state governor and the Honorable Minister of Defense for State. So that is why I derive my point, sir.
Okay, sir. And I want to thank you very much for, it's part of your presentation. But I also want to say that we wanted to talk about, and we have, in part, talked about forest guards and the battle against insecurity. So that's what both you gentlemen have been talking about. It's a good idea, I guess, is what you are saying, Bassi. Just like the same has been said, Stephen has also said the same thing. But you have to go about it the right way. It has to be structured and it has to be appropriately funded. We've run out of time because with two experts in the studio, I know we could do this for another 1 hour. Just a quick final word. Dr. Okwori, a final word from you in terms of the battle against insecurity and the role of forest guards in it. Very brief, please.
Yeah, okay. Very, very, very wonderful idea from Mr. President, and the coordination and supervision under the NSA, brilliant, and it's strategic. And the articles that I read about a global peace and intelligence expert, Dr. John Meche, I saw his article and I saw details what he said in it, and I see that if added to what the NSA is doing, it will go a long way in achieving the desired result where Nigerians can go to their bed with their two eyes closed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bassi, a last word from you too? A very brief last word from you.
Yes. Yes, briefly. Lastly, thank you for this opportunity once again. I want to say that I'm not against the issues of forest guard. It's a welcome development, but I want to assure you that they have to partner with the Ministry of Defense to get whatever things they want to get done.
Okay.
And to get it done adequately.
Okay.
That's my own provision, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basi Ekemini, National Coordinator Initiative for Concerned Citizens for Peace and Development, and also to you, Dr. Stephen Okwori, Security Consultant and Strategist, Fellow, Nigerian Army Resource Center. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your perspectives with us. We all want the country to be secure as the authorities are working on it. So that's our program. Yeah, that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
In a world where news never sleeps, we're taking a giant leap into the future. We at TVC Communications are proud to introduce a new era in news broadcasting. But first, let me introduce my special friend, Olamide AI. Hi, Olamide Human. Is it time to come out yet? Yes, indeed it is. And you can bring your friends along. Meet our new AI anchors, speaking your language and sharing your stories. From English, good day. These are the news headlines, to Pidgin.
Better country people, on a good evening.
Yoruba, Ekaro, Ekudede Asikoyi, Shidadalabayi, Igbo,
Ndewo, Auto Innovation, Ahambu Obada Samson Ejiro,
and Hausa.
Mutane na sanar da zuwa, suna na Raki Abdulkarim kuma kana kallon TVC News.
We are bringing the news closer to you. Faster, smarter, and always reliable. And together, we are shaping the future of news for every Nigerian.